smart, fair, and restorative service. Make it.
Yeah, okay.
Huh?
That's all.
You get this.
I like it.
What? You know, check money.
Heather.
Yes.
We got any bindovers?
I think we got a few. Let's see here.
Are they on the calendar? I'm just wondering.
Yes. I think, let me check.
They're not on the calendar.
No.
They're not.
There were 17 positions plus I think 5 bindovers. Good afternoon, Mr. Howard.
Hello. 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 All right, I need to call Victoria. I was just wondering. I'm about to call her.
Are they supposed to be on the calendar?
What, the bindovers?
Right.
I guess they act like they doing them now from your
Wow.
office, so I don't know. I mean, I assume they bind over. They already had a first appearance, but
That's
I don't
right.
know.
Okay. Oh, they excited.
Heather,
Yes.
we did Cormac and Ralph yesterday. I saw there was an add-on, but we did them yesterday.
Okay.
All right, we're ready to start. Yes, Your Honor, we're ready to start. Your reset date for the SAP calendar is going to be February the 27th. All right, February 27th. Thank you. All right, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is the
Fulton County State Court Expedited Accusations Calendar. This is a calendar for cases in which individuals have recently been arrested and charged with certain misdemeanor offenses. Soon after their arrest, the Fulton County Solicitor General's office has already accused the cases of the offenses brought against them, and the case has been bound over to the Fulton County State Court. Nevertheless, this will usually be the defendant's initial appearance before state court judge, so we are able to handle certain matters such as bond, possible arraignment, and a possible plea offer if one has been made by the state at this juncture. We've already heard the SAP reset date, which is February the 27th. I want to begin by reminding and advising everyone that this whole entire proceeding is being recorded as well as live streamed on YouTube. So govern yourselves accordingly. I want to begin by reminding the defendants on this calendar that you have certain constitutional rights. The first being that you have a right to have counsel representing you. You should know who your attorneys are and have spoken to them at this time. You also have a right to remain silent. Remember that anything that you state about the facts, the circumstances, or the occurrences of your case can and will be held against you. So follow the lead of your attorney and act accordingly. Who do we have first?
Your Honor, we can go with position number 10, Mr. Jordan.
All right.
How you doing?
This is 25 CR 000798E Romello Jordan, charged with one count of battery family violence, second count of battery against a female who is pregnant. Pre-trial?
5 total. Open simple assault out of Clayton County. It's a 2023 case. What else we got? Suspended registration, possession of a Schedule 5 controlled substance, possession of a knife or a firearm during the commission, possession of marijuana, driving without a valid license. He had a 2022 theft by receiving, bus or rail vehicle hijacking. I'm not sure what the disposition is on that one, but that's all.
All right, State.
Yes, Judge, I'd be asking for a $2,500 good bond on each charge for a total of $5,000 good, with condition no further contact with Naya Daniel, and to stay away from the incident location at 2842 High Tide Drive, Atlanta. This offense did occur in June of last year, but the facts allege that the defendant came to her residence, took her phone, she chased after him to get her phone, and he punched her in the face, threw her to the ground punching her, kicked her in the back, dragged her across the pavement. She sustained a black eye, lacerations to her lip, and a bloody big right toe. She was 7 months pregnant at this time with the defendant's child, and let the officers know this was not the first time he had been violent with her or punched her. As you heard, that 2023 simple assault out of Clayton County is with this same victim. We were able to get in touch with the victim. She is saying that this whole thing was blown out of proportion, but I don't think it was. There were visible injuries. As you know, the cycle of violence. She may be in the honeymoon phase right now. She said he's apologized to her, but based on the severity of the facts alleged, as well as that open simple assault against the same victim out of Clayton County, we're asking for that $5,000 total good bond with conditions no further contact and stay away. If we could sound for Miss Daniel at this time, if she's on the Zoom.
Yes, I am.
All right, Ms. Daniel, I can only see your forehead. All right, do you wish to address the court today?
Yes,
Hold on. That was first a question, yes or no, and if you do,
yes, ma'am.
okay, I need to swear you in. Raise your right hand for me. Do you affirm that the testimony that you're about to give is the truth and nothing but the truth under the penalty of perjury?
Yes.
All right, this is not your trial. This is a bond hearing. So you have very limited amount, but I'll let you speak and address the court. And first, let me ask you, are you in fear of Mr. Jordan?
No.
Do you want to have any further contact with Mr. Jordan?
Yes.
All right. Any cross-examination by the state?
No.
Okay. And who's PD? Is this a tie?
Yes, good afternoon, Your
Good
Honor.
Do you have any cross-examination questions?
Your Honor, yes, Miss Daniel, did you call the police?
No.
Was there a scuffle over the phone on both sides?
Yes.
Okay, and you wanted him to stay although he was trying to leave,
Yes.
and you did grab him?
Yes.
Okay, no further questions, Your Honor.
All right. And I guess you can go ahead and present, PD or tie.
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, my client is 20 years old. He has lived in Georgia all his life. He was working, but believes he may have been laid off because he was arrested in Clayton County. He says about 4 to 5 days ago. I wasn't able to look into it. But he has all of his family here in Georgia, his mom, his dad. He has strong ties to the community. He does have some history, Your Honor. The complaining witness, she stated to me that the simple assault was not with her. And Your Honor, the state is asking for $2,500 each on the battery, family violence, and the battery against a pregnant female. I think they're the same charge, so I would ask for no more than a $2,500 total bond because it seems like these two charges are really the same incident. And I would ask for no violent contact and nothing further.
And I meant to ask, are they living together?
Yes, Your Honor.
And they've been living together since this incident?
Yes, Your Honor. And it was, June of 2024, so quite a while ago.
Anything else, ASG Tucker?
Nothing further. And I'm sorry, I don't think she was the victim in the simple assault, but she did say she had a previous incident in May 2024 in Clayton County.
All right, I'm going to order a $5,000 surety bond. And with that surety bond, that's $2,500 on each of the charges. I'm going to order no further violent contact with Miss Daniels. And as far as the location where you reside, Miss Daniel, whose name is on the deed or the lease?
His mother.
Oh, his mother. Does she
Yeah.
reside there as well?
Yeah. Yes.
All right. No further violent contact. I won't order a stay away at all. But no drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond. And that's all I order at this time. All right.
Thank you, Your Honor. Next, Your Honor, we can go to position number 9, Mr. Jones.
This is 25 CR 0000795C, Cedric Jones. Charged with 1 count of public indecency, 2nd count willful obstruction of law enforcement officer. Is this something we can discuss in open court?
I have no problem with that, Your Honor.
Okay.
33. Can you hear me?
Yes.
You got 33 total. Resident of Alabama. 2024 obstructing police. 2023 possession of marijuana. 2022 burglary. This comes out of Alabama. 2022 FTA. 2019 possession of drug paraphernalia. 2016 resisting and a family offense violence. Another 2016 arrest family offense DV. 2016 FTA. And 2013 robbery. That's it.
All right, State.
Yes, Judge, we'd be asking for $1,000 good bond on the PI charge, $500 good bond on the obstruction, for a total of 15,000 total, with the stay away from the Greyhound bus station located at 232 Forsyth Street in Atlanta. These facts allege that this defendant was openly urinating on the walkway behind the bus station. He refused to be placed in custody by tensing up his muscles, pulling his arms away. He had to be taken to the ground to be cuffed. Based on the history, I do not believe he should qualify for a signature bond. He's got history out of Ohio, Alabama, and Florida, as you heard, hit and runs at multiple FTAs. So I believe that the risk of not appearing at the future is very high. So we're asking for that 15,000.
15,000 or
Excuse me, no,
1,500?
1,500.
Mhm.
Sorry, 1,500 total good bond with a stay away.
All right, PD Utah.
Yes, Your Honor, my client is 44 years old. He is residentially challenged. He has been staying at Gateway. He has been in Georgia for more than 1 month. He did come to visit family and then found out that they had moved. He does deny the allegations as stated in the warrant. He stated that he did not resist arrest at all, but he was slammed to the ground and punched in the head by the police officer. As far as the public indecency, Your Honor, he states that he had gotten off of the bus and every bathroom was closed, locked, not available. And he did try to find a place that was out of view. And apparently this police officer did see him, but Your Honor, he cannot afford any bond. This is not a bail restricted offense. I would ask for a signature bond, even if it's through pretrial. He is recommended for a level 2. So I would ask for a signature bond through pretrial services.
Yeah, he don't live here, so. Because I would ask if you do it through jail.
Well, he doesn't live anywhere. He's homeless.
Well, but
Well,
he's got history. He's a multi-state offender.
And we can't supervise somebody that's homeless.
I'm going to order the $1,500 surety bond, 1,000 on the public indecency, 500 on the willful obstruction. I'm going to order that he stay away from the Greyhound bus station on Forsyth Street, cannot go back there while he's on bond. I'm going to order no drugs, no alcohol, no weapons, unprescribed medication while on bond. And that will be it for now.
Have a seat. No, no chair.
What type of bond is that?
Why would they say I was at a Greyhound and I wasn't at a,
1,500 surety bond.
Thank you.
I got
Next, Your Honor, we could go to position number 13, Mr. Noli.
This is 25 CR 0000797J. Tyreek Nolly charged with 1 count of giving false information to law enforcement, driving while license suspended or revoked. Retrial.
13 total. You got an open armed robbery. It's 24 SC 003170. It's an open armed robbery, possession of a controlled substance. I got another robbery, 24 SC 003762, 2024 probation, 2019 FTA, 2019 terrorist threats, ag battery. I think they blocked that one out. The state may know the disposition. It says confidential in Odyssey though. 2018 simple battery hindering 911 call conviction, and a 2016 simple battery first offender.
State.
Yes, Judge, we'd be asking for $500 good bond on each charge. That's $1,000 good bond total. The facts allege that during a traffic stop he gave the name and date of birth of his brother, Uland Nolly, with date of birth 3/29/93. They looked that up. That license was actually suspended. So then he gave his correct name and found that his license is also suspended for a failure to appear. So based on the suspension for a failure to appear, he has a failure to appear in his history, as well as he's got open cases. He's out on bond, already still violating the law. We would be asking for that $1,000 total good bond.
All right, PD Atai.
Your Honor, my client is 26 years old. He does have the open cases. He is recommended for a signature bond at level 2. I would ask for a signature bond in this case. He does realize that he missed a court date on February 7th, 2025. He states that his wife was in labor and she had the baby on February 8th, 2025. And that's why he missed the court date. The original date was January 13th, 2025, and it was reset. So he does keep up with his court dates, Your Honor, but that FTA, he either had to miss the birth of his child or be at court. He has lived in Georgia all his life. He graduated from Carver High School, attended Atlanta Tech, and also SCAD for 1.5 years. He is gainfully employed, and he does work to financially support his family. He has an 8-year-old, an 11-year-old, and the newborn child, Your Honor. I would ask for a signature bond. In this case, he does have a good address and does keep up with his court dates. Nothing further.
I'm going to order the $1,000 surety bond, 500 on each. I'm going to order that he not drive at all unless he has a valid driver's license. And while on bond, I'm also going to order no drugs, alcohol, weapons, guns, or unprescribed medication while on bond. And I think that'll do it. 1,000 surety.
Next, Your Honor, we can go to position number 1, Mr. Anderson.
$25 CR 0000790F, Ashanti Anderson, charge of 1 count of battery family violence, 2nd count of battery, pretrial.
I got 5 total. 2024 FTA, 2017 disorderly conduct first offender. Hold on. Level 1 is fine if you give her a signature bond. Yes. That's it.
Yes, Judge, we'd be asking for $1,500 good bond on the battery family violence and $500 on the battery for a total of $2,000 good bond with conditions no further contact with Brianna Smith, as well as to stay away from the 3478 Lakeside Drive apartment 605 in Atlanta. These facts allege that the defendant and the victim were arguing over following someone on Instagram when the defendant didn't like a face the victim made at him, so he punched her in the face, causing her eye to swell. We were unable to get in contact with this victim, but based on the violence alleged in the facts, as well as his recent 2024 FTA, we're asking for that $2,000 total good bond.
All right. I will order the 2,000.
Your Honor,
I'm sorry, a PD Atai. I apologize. Go ahead.
Your Honor, my client is 31 years old. He has lived in Georgia all his life. He graduated from high school, attended Robert Morris College in Chicago. He does work as a salesman at a car dealership in Alpharetta. He does have 2 minor children, 13 years old and 5 years old. He does intend to move out. He is fine with no further contact. They don't have children together, have no reason to see each other. He would need a one-time law enforcement escort to retrieve his belongings. Your Honor, he is recommended for a level 1. So I would ask, due to the very limited criminal history, the last thing was an FTA, and that was for a traffic offense, Your Honor, in 2024. Before that, it was 8 years ago since his last arrest, and I think that was for disorderly conduct. He's 31 years old now. That was a long time ago. I would ask for a signature bond through pretrial services at level 1, which is what he's recommended for, Your Honor.
All right, I will order a $2,500 signature bond through pretrial. And that's 2,000 on the battery, family violence, and 500 on the battery for 2,500. I'm going to order a 2-day anger awareness course through pretrial. I'm going to order no further, and I think the state requested, was it no further contact with the victim
Correct.
and a stay away from that 3478 Lakeside Drive.
Yes.
One-time law enforcement escort back to the property to retrieve his personal belongings. Please make sure you schedule it with law enforcement. If you go back without him, you can be arrested again. And no drugs, alcohol, weapons, unprescribed medication, or guns while on bond. And I think that's it. Anything else?
What level was that, Your Honor?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, level 1.
You have a seat in the back. Next, we go to position number 11, Mr. Mills.
This is 25 CR 000799E. Samir Mills charged with 2 counts of battery, family violence, the 3rd count of criminal trespass and damage to property. Pre-trial.
Yeah, 7 total. You got to open theft by taking 24 CR 004638E on probation out of Cobb. Looks like armed robbery, possession of a knife or a firearm during the commission. 2024 probation.
Pardon.
That's it.
All right.
Yes, Judge. The state is asking for a $2,000 good bond on count 1, 2,000 good bond on count 2, 1,000 good bond on count 3 for a total of $5,000 good bond with condition no further contact with Shania Marks and to stay away from 1011 Dimmick Street in Atlanta. These facts allege that the defendant had tried to lock her out of her Instagram account, but she found a way back in, which started an argument, leading to the defendant grabbing her by the neck, choking her. She had to bite his arm to get him off. The defendant also punched her in the head, threw her iPhone to the ground, damaging it. She sustained visible scratches around her neck and a busted lip. The defendant fled the scene, and the victim let the officers know at the time. She said, "This is not the first time he's attacked her. It's just the first time she's reported it." This incident did occur in January of this year. It wasn't yesterday like some of these other cases. We were able to get in contact with this victim. She is saying that she, wasn't strangled, that she feels bad he's locked up. She doesn't want him, she doesn't want to press charges, but considering the facts, when this incident occurred, the visible injuries, I believe, it happened. So based on the facts alleged as well as his history. He's got a lot of really recent offenses, gun offenses. We'd be asking for that $5,000 total good bond with no further contact and stay away. And if we could sound for Shania Marks, I believe she may be on.
Hello.
Shania Mark,
Yes, ma'am.
do you wish to address the court today? Yes or no?
Yes.
All right, raise your right hand. Do you affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the truth and nothing but the truth under the penalty of perjury?
Yes.
Okay, I can barely see you. You're in the dark in a closet and your light on.
I'll turn the light on 1 second. Oh, is that better?
Yes.
Okay, yes.
All right. And let me ask you 2 questions. Are you in fear of Mr. Mills?
No.
Okay. Do you want to have any further contact with Mr. Mills?
Yes.
Okay, I can't see your face. All right. Do you live with Mr. Mills?
No, it happened at his house, so it wasn't at my house. I was at his house.
Okay, so this 1011 Dimick Street is not your address?
Yeah, no, ma'am, that's his house.
Okay. Have you spoken to the state, correct?
Yes.
You provided them with your updated address?
Yes.
Okay.
They didn't ask me for my address. They haven't asked me for no address.
Oh, okay. Well, make sure you give your updated address to the victim witness advocate that you may have spoken to. And
Okay.
do you have any children with the defendant?
Yes.
How many?
1.
1. How old?
1.
Oh, the child is 1 year old, 1 child. Okay.
Yes.
I'm a little confused. I apologize.
I'm sorry.
Okay. All right. Any cross-examination by the state?
Nothing from the state.
All right. PD Atai?
Your Honor, my client is only 19 years old. He has lived in Georgia all his life. He did graduate from Carver High School. He is gainfully employed, and works to support his 1-year-old child. The complaining witness has stated that she does want contact with him. He denies the allegations as stated in the warrant. Your Honor, again, here, there's 2 charges for battery family violence. I don't believe that he should have to pay double bond because of the 2 charges. It's all stemming from one incident with one person. So I would ask for the lowest bond possible. The state's asked for a $2,000 bond on each battery family violence. I would ask for a $1,500 bond for both of those charges and a $500 bond on the criminal trespass damage to property. Although he is recommended for a signature bond at level 2. And I would prefer a signature bond due to his age, and he has the 1-year-old child to take care of. He is working, but he has limited means. So if he can get a pretrial signature bond, even at a level 4, we would prefer that, and no further violent contact, and a stay away is not necessary. As you heard, this Dimick Street is his home where he lives with his child and his mother, child part of the time.
The same child or another child?
It's the one, he only has one child with Miss Shania, Your Honor.
And I think I recall there was no violence in his history.
No violence, Your Honor.
Well, he got armed robbery.
Yeah. Yes,
Is
he's got multiple. So I've got
Oh,
2020 theft by receiving felony, which is typically a gun.
Okay.
2021 possession of a pistol under 18, and then 23 the armed robbery, possession of pistol under 18. So based on the fact that these are gun charges, I consider them violent.
All right. I'm going to order a $4,500 surety bond And that's 2,000 on each of the battery family violence charges and 500 on the criminal trespass.
Your Honor,
And-
I'd just like to know, what are the two battery family violence charges? I mean, if the charges are being duplicated, then the bond
No.
is duplicated for
One
what?
is for
Just let
the
the state in.
choking and one is for the punching.
Okay.
The choking never happened. I don't know where the choking part came in. I don't.
Shania, please
Oh.
mute yourself. This is not your trial. It's not your time to
'Cause
speak. Okay? All right, go ahead, State.
Yes, Judge, I charged them. One is for the choking, one is for the punching. Both had separate visible injuries as well. So I consider them two charges.
It would, I don't believe that it would be charged that way, Your Honor.
That sounds like an issue we can handle at motions. I'm still requesting bonds on both.
Yes, Your Honor, and I don't object to a bond on both. I would just ask for a $1,000 bond on each, or I'm sorry, a $2,000 bond on both of them. They're the same incident. It's the same incident. So to double the bond for one incident with one victim is unfair to my client.
I don't know that this is anything new. That we, charged it that way in the past. But again, I do think it's something better suited for motions calendar later. And because of the charges, I'm not leaning toward a signature bond through pretrial at all. So I'm just going to leave it at the 4,500, the 2,000 on each. A little concerned about his history and his age, and then the gun charges. So I'm going to hold with the 2,000 on each of the batteries, and then the 500 on the criminal trespass. And I'm going to, I know this happened on January the 3rd. I'm going to order no further contact with the victim at this time. And if there's any visitation allowed with the child, that they be precipitated by a third person, because he's going to have to stay 200 yards away from Miss Mark and have no contact with her via email or any other means. And then we'll see how it goes. But no drugs, alcohol, weapons, nor guns or unprescribed medication while on bond. And if Mr. Mills has any other guns in his possession or home, he needs to turn them over to the sheriff's department immediately. All right. That's the order.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Next, we can go to position number 17, Mr. Williams.
Let's forward.
Randy Williams. What's the other Williams?
I see that.
Hold on, still make up on
He's the one.
Williams. Williams.
This Mr. Williams?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. 25 CR 000-802Y, Randy Williams, charged at 1 count of battery family violence, pretrial.
4 total. He got an open window tent, possession of marijuana out of Clayton County. 2024 expired license, NOLO. He don't have any violence.
Okay.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Raquel Pope for the state. This incident happened on October 24th, 2024. October 12th, 2024. Officers responded to the location in reference to a dispute, an altercation. The allegation is that Mr. Williams was in a relationship with the victim, Mr. Guerrero. They got into a verbal altercation, and Mr. Guerrero was struck 3 times in the face, causing a laceration over his eye. The state is recommending a $1,500 unsecured judicial release through pretrial, no further violent contact with the victim, Mr. Guerrero, who I do believe is present on the call.
All right. Mr. Guerrero,
Yes, I'm here.
okay, do you wish to address the court today?
Yes.
All right, raise your right hand for me. Do you affirm that the testimony that you're about to receive is the truth and nothing but the truth under the penalty of perjury?
Yes.
And who else is that with you?
That's my other partner, Jason McGowan.
Okay, how old are you?
I am 38.
Oh, okay. And gotta ask you two questions. First question is, are you in fear of Mr. Randy Williams?
No.
Do you want to have any further contact with Randy Williams?
Yes.
All right. Any cross-examination by the state?
No, Your Honor.
Any cross-examination by PD Geddes?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, you can mute yourself, Mr. Guerrero. Thank you. All
Thank you.
right, Mr. Geddes, go ahead.
Yes. So my client is 31 years old. He has lived in Georgia for the vast majority of his life. He has a number of family ties present here in Georgia. As you've heard, he has no prior violent criminal history. The complaining witness in this case has expressed they do wish to have further contact with Mr. Williams going forward. My understanding is that they were residing together prior to this incident. So if there's no fear of his presence and a desire for future contact, we would just ask that he be granted a UJR and no further violent contact.
All right. $2,000.
Your Honor, you're breaking up.
Sorry.
You're breaking up.
Oh, am I?
Yeah, we didn't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, sorry. $2,000 signature bond through pretrial. I'll make that a level 2. I'm going to order a 2-day anger awareness course through pretrial. I'm going to order no further violent contact with Mr. Guerrero. And I don't know, does there need to be a stay away or not?
The state was not requesting a stay away. We did have an opportunity to speak with Mr. Guerrero, and he did say that he wanted contact with Mr. Williams.
Okay. So no further violent contact and no drugs, alcohol, weapons, or unprescribed medication or guns while on bond. And that should do it.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All
Hey,
right.
Michael sent the add-on. Did you get it? It just came through.
Send it to me, please.
All right.
Good afternoon, Judge.
Good afternoon.
This is going to be position number 2, Ms. Davis.
Okay. All right. Did they hear the instructions a little bit?
They did.
Okay, great. This is 25 CR 0000791C. Is it Latavia Davis, charged at 1 count of battery family violence? Pre-trial.
7. She got an open shoplifting. 2024 suspended license. That's it. Level 2.
All right.
Yes, Judge, we are asking for a $2,000 good bond with conditions no further contact with Benjetta Gibson, as well as to stay away from 2435 Bellevue Avenue in Atlanta. This victim was looking for her child when the defendant responded back a rude comment telling her to go find her herself. The defendant also took her baby's diapers and refused to give them back. The defendant came down the stairs to get in the victim's face, so she put her hand up to stop her, and she was bitten, leaving a minor laceration to the palm. We were able to get in contact with this victim. She was staying with them at Latavia's mom's house. And she just says this defendant is constantly trying to provoke her with the victim's 14-year-old daughter. She tells the daughter she can come and go as she pleases, has introduced the daughter to marijuana and potentially other things. She just doesn't want any contact, doesn't want her there. We also spoke with the mother who owns the home, Sonoya Davis. She was present at the time of this incident. She says the defendant has been acting up for 4 days now. She wants the defendant to go to rehab, thinks she needs a mental evaluation, wants a stay away from the home. And for those reasons, we're asking for that $2,000 good bond, no further contact, and stay away.
All right. DB Atai.
Yes, Your Honor. Miss Davis is only 24 years old. She does have 3 minor children, a 4-year-old, a 3-year-old, and a 1-year-old. She has struggled with homelessness. She states that she does live at the 2435 Bellevue Avenue address and that the complaining witness does not live there. As you heard, she has absolutely no violent criminal history. The only history is a theft by shoplifting and a driving while license suspended. And Your Honor, she is recommended for a UJR at level 2. She cannot afford any bond at all. She needs to get out to be able to take care of her children. She doesn't feel confident that her mom is going to take adequate care of her children. She denies the allegations as stated in the warrant and states that the complaining witness was the first aggressor who put her hand in her face, not to stop her, but to antagonize her. And Your Honor, just so that she can get out of jail and take care of her children, I would ask for a signature bond through pretrial services at level 2, as that's the recommendation, or level 4, if she can get a pretrial services bond, Your Honor.
And
She has lived in Georgia all her life. She's not working right now because she is taking care of 3 children, all 4, 3, and 1-year-old. And I would ask for her to be able to return to the home. She doesn't have anywhere else to live, and the complaining witness doesn't live there. And no further contact with the complaining witness is fine. It's not a family member, so nothing further.
And I'm sorry, Judge, Miss Gibson is on the line if she wanted to speak.
Okay, what's the relationship with the victim and the defendant?
Hey, the relationship with me
Excuse me, who's talking?
I'm sorry, this is Benjetta Gibson speaking.
Okay, I've not allowed you to speak yet, so
Oh,
I
I'm
was
sorry.
asking that to the state or the prosecutor.
Yes, so the defendant is her daughter's cousin on her daughter's dad's side. Yes.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Gibson, do you wish to address the court today, yes or no?
Yes.
All right, if you do, I need to see your face in the camera. All right, and raise your right hand so I can swear you in first. Do you affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the truth and nothing but the truth under the penalty of perjury?
Yes.
All right, are you in favor of Miss Latavia Davis?
Yes, she's my daughter's cousin.
Okay. And do you want to have any further contact with her?
No, I do not.
Okay. Does she live with you?
Yes, she lives there at Bellevue.
Okay. And you live there as well?
Yes.
Okay. And who else lives there?
Latavia's mom, her 3 kids, and she has a nephew that lives there.
And Latavia's 4. Okay. And I don't know if her kids are there.
Her kids are currently there in the possession of her mom's. Her mom has her kids right now,
Okay,
which is Sonoya Davis.
all right. I don't have any other questions. Any cross-examination by the state?
Nothing further.
All right. PD Atai?
Yes, I would like to ask, so this is her mom's home
It
Okay.
is.
and you live there
Yes, I do.
and there's a nephew there too?
Yes,
He's 12 years old?
he is.
Is he in school?
He is in school.
Okay, Your Honor, I would still just remind the court that she has no violent history other than she has a theft by shoplifting and a driving while license suspended. I don't want her to sit in jail for 2 weeks. She can't afford any bond. I would ask for a signature bond through pretrial services, even if it has to be at level 4, Your Honor. She has 3 children of her own that she needs to take care of.
And Judge, Miss Sonoya Davis is on the call as well and would like to speak about the stay away.
Would like to speak about what?
About the stay away.
That's the mother who's not the
Yes,
victim,
who owns the home.
who owns the home. All
Mhm.
right, I'll allow 2 seconds. Where is she? Miss Davis?
Yes, ma'am, I'm here.
I have to see your face. Please turn on your camera. Okay. Is that Pearl's iPhone?
Yes.
Okay. Raise your right hand for me and hold on a second. You're gonna need to put on a top or something with
No, I
sleeves.
have on a shirt. Oh, you done too much sleeping.
Do you have a jacket or anything?
I do.
We're in court. We're in open court. You wouldn't be
I'm
letting.
sorry, I apologize. How you doing?
All right, thank you. Raise your right hand for me. Do you affirm that the testimony that you're about to give is the truth and nothing but the truth under the penalty of perjury?
I do.
All right, thank you. And state your name for the record.
Sonoya Davis,
Okay, and where do you reside?
2435 Bellevue Ave.
Who else lives there with you?
My daughter, my sister-in-law,
Give me their names. Give me their names.
Sonoya Davis, Atavia Davis, Jontavius Davis, Purpose Davis, Seven Davis, Jaden Fuller, Benjetta Gibson, Jalea Gibson, and Terry Smith.
This is a big house?
Yeah, it's 4 bedroom. No, it's not enough for everybody, but people don't have nowhere to stay. So I call myself being nice and opening my doors, but that seemed to turn on me.
Okay. Does your daughter, Latavia, have somewhere else to go live?
She do.
And then what about her children?
They can stay here. Let me just inform you, Judge, this has been going on since Tuesday. I haven't had sleep since Tuesday. My daughter was raised on the principle of never disrespecting your mom. The disrespect that she displayed since Tuesday is I can't accept it. And what I'm not gonna do is put myself in a position to where I'll be in front of you with a more serious charge than what she has. And before I do that and destroy the rest of the little mental that I have, I would just ask that she stay away. I already got something in place for the other young lady who really started all this for her to get out. And actually, 7 police, they keep calling the police. The police just left while we was just on the phone. 7 police officers. They keep doing prank calls saying that my grandson with Down syndrome is missing. 7 police officers just knocked on my door, and they've been doing this. The police was here 8 times, different times yesterday. I mean, it's crazy. Like, I have had no peace. I just had to bury my best friend Wednesday. Like, I'm still grieving. I ain't even started grieving. It's like no control. And come to find out that the older lady upstairs who keep her kids have turned her out on X pills because I knew something was wrong with her because her behavior changed. And
Okay.
before I
Hold
do
on a
somebody,
second. Hold on a second. This is not the trial. This is a bond hearing, and these things are important. What I'm concerned about is her being separated from her children. are you all keeping her children there? And if I order her to stay away from there, I suspect that she'll want to come back to see her kids. So how's that going
She can take her kids with her. I'm not holding her kids hostage, and I still support them from a distance. But I'm
Okay.
not finna put myself in no position to where I'll be in jail, probably facing the rest of my life in jail. I'm not gonna do
Well,
that.
we're
I
not gonna,
nobody.
we're not, be careful there. We're not gonna have that, and I don't want you to
No,
say
yeah.
that in open court. And we're not gonna speak that into existence. I'm not going to definitely, whatever I do, order her to come back there. But I guess you'll have to at least get a police escort to get her children. And seems like there's a lot of people there, and I just want to make sure, like you say, that you'll be safe and everyone is be safe. Whose name's on the deed to that house?
Mine.
Okay, so it's your home. How long have you resided there?
Since November.
Okay. All right. That helps me, and I do appreciate you getting on and giving me that extra information, okay?
I do.
But please try to be safe and live in peace, okay?
I will.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
I am ready to rule if there's nothing else that either side needs to state. I'm going to order a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial for Miss Davis. And with that $2,000 signature bond through pretrial, I'm going to make it a level 2. I'm going to order that she stay away from 2345 Bellevue Avenue. She is to not go there. She can have a one-time police escort to go to that property to pick up her children and any personal belongings that she may need from that location. She's not to have any contact, no further contact with, is it Binyetta Gibson? And not to create a ruckus at that property. I don't know to add mom on as another victim. I don't know if the state wants to do that or not. But she shouldn't go by there to have any violent contact with any of the occupants. It sounds like there's a lot of people there. I'm inclined to add the mom to it, ASG Tucker. May or may not be proper to do. But based on what the mom testified about, seems to be something going on there. So let's say no further contact with Binyetta Gibson or with, spell your first name, Ms. Davis.
Senoia.
Senoia, and last name is Davis, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay. And no further contact with her as well. But she can take a one-time law enforcement escort to get her children and any personal belongings that she has at that property. And so, Ms. Davis, you're to have no contact with your relatives there for now. Let's let it cool down and have a cooling down period so that you can be safe as well by not going there. You can take the police with you because you need to arrange that before when you get out so that the police can escort you there to get your children any personal belongings and not go back there by yourself because you may end up right back here in jail. No drugs, alcohol, weapons, unprescribed medication, or guns while on bond. And that's it. It's going to be a level 2 through pretrial. Maybe not. I'm sure your attorney's not going to want you to say it.
No, Miss Davis, don't say anything.
This is not your trial. This is a bond hearing, okay? So talk anything else you need to talk it over with your attorney. All right, that should be it.
Next, Your Honor, we can go to position number 3 on the add-on calendar, and that is Mr. Hardy. Mr. Hardy, come.
This is 25 CR 0000808Y. And this is Mr. Tyrese Hardy, charged with 1 count of criminal trespass. Pretrial?
12, 2024 trespass, 2024 obstruction trespass, 2024 trespass giving false name, another 2024 trespass, 2020 trespass conviction, 2019 probation, 2018 probation, 2018 obstruction conviction, 2017 obstruction, theft by receiving, first offender.
All right, state.
You did say Hardy, right?
Yes.
Okay, just making sure.
Give me one moment.
Okay.
This was an incident that took place on November 24th, 2024, at the Exxon gas station at 3985 Jonesboro Road in Union City, Fulton County, Georgia. The defendant had been asked to stay away from that property in the past, and he presented on the property again, at which time he was arrested. He was recently in Union City and saw a judge, and he was given a $1,500, or I'm sorry, $1,000 good bond. We would just ask that that same bond remain in place and a stay away from the location.
All right. PD Geddes.
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Hardy is 25 years old. My understanding is he's a long-term resident of Georgia. He's expressed to me that he resides at an address in Lawrenceville with his brother. It sounds like his primary source of income is SSI, SSDI, a program along those lines. I would ask that if he is eligible, he be given a UJR, as he is on pretty limited financial circumstances. If Your Honor is not inclined, or if he is not eligible for that UJR, I would ask just for the lowest possible bond in the situation. And if he remains in custody, I would ask that he be given a social worker visit.
Okay, I'll definitely order the social worker visit. So his connection to George's brother's address in Lawrenceville, which is on the other end of the earth from Union City. I'm not for sure what he's doing there and keeps going back to the Exxon in Union City. Maybe he doesn't live in Lawrenceville. Not working or anything.
He's not currently working, Your Honor.
I'm not sure what his connection to this area is, but he does have arrests in Georgia and Clayton County. Also, most of his arrests have been in Clayton County. They're dating back to 2008.
Oh, so he's on the south side, it looks like.
He is. Forest Park, I see an arrest.
Mm-hmm.
Atlanta Police Department. So most of the arrests have been on this side of town.
Yeah.
But the issue is he keeps getting arrested. So he did just have an arrest on July 25th, 2024 for criminal trespass, as well as October 5th, 2024 for criminal trespass, and November 24th, 2024 for criminal trespass. So that's the state's concern, is that he continuously arrested and released to do the same.
Yeah, he definitely needs some help.
Your Honor.
Yeah.
Is it the Exxon or the BP gas?
Exxon.
Okay, because I was reading something that said BP.
Oh, let's make sure.
Well, according to the police report, it said Exxon gas station at 3985 Jonesboro Road.
Okay, so it is the Exxon on this one?
That's what I charged it for.
Okay, no
Let
problem.
me look at the citation. I'm sorry, at the accusation, but the police report I read and what I was basing it on was that Exxon at that location.
Okay.
In the accusation, I put enter upon the premise of Exxon gas station after receiving prior notice. So
Okay,
there's also
what
a
is that
BP.
address again?
It is 3985 Jonesboro Road.
Thank you.
What I'm concerned about, Mr. Geddes, is if I give him a signature bond that he will be right back here again. I know that I'm going to order him to get a visit by the social worker, but
Say that one more time, Your Honor.
I was talking to your attorney.
My bad. I'm trying.
Hardy.
So Mr. Geddes, will he be homeless? Will he have services? Will he continue to rack up trespass charges with nowhere to go?
As I said, he's expressed to me that his brother does have an address in Lawrenceville he would be able to stay at.
All right, I guess I'll give him a chance and see what happens. I'm going to give him a $1,000 signature bond. Guess it'll be through the jail. Because I only heard one conviction, right?
Yes.
All right, I will try him out. Signature bond through the jail. Social worker visit. No drugs, alcohol, weapons, guns, or unprescribed medication while on bond. And you've got to stay away from this Exxon in Union City, and I believe a lot of other places where you're being trespassed from. So hopefully you'll be able to get some services to get it together and not continuing to be arrested. All right, Mr. Hardy.
Yes, ma'am, I have you.
All right, so stay away from the Exxon and any other place that they do not want you to be.
All right.
All right.
Number 14, Page.
This is 25 CR 000-796F. Christina Page, charged with 2 counts of battery family violence.
6. I got an open assault causing bodily injury, possession of marijuana out of Texas. This is from June of last year. 2021 suspended license and conviction, and wanted out of Clayton County.
Okay.
Yes, Judge, we'd be asking for 2,500 signature bond, 2,500 good bond on the first battery family violence, 2,500 good bond on the second family violence for a total of 5,000 with conditions no further contact with Natasha Colbert and Indy Colbert, and to stay away from 3225 apartment 17 Matador Court in East Point. The facts allege that the defendant came into the victim's room screaming about the door being unlocked overnight. The defendant grabbed a full bag of trash and threw it full force at Indy Colbert. In response, Natasha Colbert began to swing to defend Indy. Both parties began striking on each other, resulting in a small cut to the elbow of Natasha. A small cut on the forearm of Indy as well from the trash bag. There was a witness, Chastity Colbert, who confirmed that Natasha was just defending her sister, and it was determined that the defendant was the primary aggressor. We were able to get in touch with Natasha. She said that her and the defendant were best friends for 10 years. They've been living together since October of last year. And said there's a lot of stuff that's been going on. The defendant has been taking things from her. And on this day, she confirmed all the events in the warrant, and stated that she had to defend her sister, Indy. We tried to reach the witness, Chastity Colbert, could not reach her today. But based on the fact that she has history out of Michigan from 2024, history out of Texas from 2024, and that history is an assault charge, we are requesting that $5,000 total good bond. with conditions no further contact and to stay away.
Okay. PD Atai?
Yes, Your Honor. Your Honor, I believe police also spoke with another witness that was there, another roommate, Kira, and I believe she's on the line. This is another person who was there during that incident. Your Honor, my client is 26 years old. I believe those cases are open and she denies those allegations. She has very little criminal history and is recommended for a signature bond at level 2. She was born in Georgia and lived here most of her life. She graduated from high school in Jonesboro, and she does work at the Beauty Exchange on Campbellton Road, and she has a second job at Family Dollar. Your Honor, this is her apartment. She's the only person on the lease. She was kind enough to let her best friend stay with her when she had nowhere else to go. She told me that she allowed her best friend to come over about 2 or 3 weeks ago. It hasn't been since November. That's what she tells me. She is in the process of evicting them. She went on Wednesday to file for the eviction for her best friend and the other 2 family members that she then brought into the home. Again, she's the only person on this lease. And she has a lot of people who she's allowed to stay with her. I would ask for a signature bond through pretrial services at level 2. She states that the complaining witness, all of them were the first aggressor in the situation, and she was only defending herself.
And Judge, excuse my dog. If we could sound for Natasha Colbert or Indy Colbert.
Okay. Natasha or Indy Colbert? No, I think
Your
the only
Honor,
one we have on is Kiera. What's her last name?
Haraspic.
Is that her with the iPhone or who?
My last name is Spizak.
Is that you, Kiera?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You were a witness to this incident?
Yes, ma'am.
I usually don't go that far in it. I don't allow maybe 2 seconds because again, this is not the trial, and I have a duty to speak to the victims more so than the witness. I'm not sure what you're gonna add to it. Raise your right hand for me. You affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the truth and nothing but the truth under the penalty of perjury?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Do you reside there as well?
Not currently, but I had the last 2-3 weeks.
Okay.
I actually just moved yesterday night.
Oh, okay. So you just moved from there. And who owns the residence?
Christina Page.
Oh, the defendant is her residence?
Yes, ma'am.
And you were renting from her?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And the others are renting?
Not, and she allowed me to stay until my apartment was ready.
Oh, okay. And do you know the 2 victims in the case?
Yes, ma'am.
And they were staying there as well?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. Well, since you don't reside there anymore and you've moved on, I don't want to get too deep into the case because this will be matters better suited for trial or later hearings in the case, okay?
Okay.
All right. Thank you. All right. I am ready to rule. She wanted out of Clayton, so she's going to go to Clayton.
Yes, Your Honor. Yeah, so that's also why I would ask for a signature bond because it's going to take time for Clayton to come pick her up. So I would ask for a signature bond as she's recommended at level 2. And of course, I'm asking for no stay away because it is her apartment.
But what about Natasha, Indy, and Natasha and Indy Colbert?
Your Honor, they've been there for a couple weeks and they are not paying rent and they're not living there. They were staying there at her invitation, at Miss Page's invitation.
They did confirm on the phone with us earlier that they are paying rent.
Okay. Here's what I'll do. Looks like she may not be going back immediately. I'm going to order the $4,000 signature bond, which would be $2,000 on each of the charges. And with that signature bond, it will have to, because of the bail restriction charges, it has to go through pretrial though,
Yeah,
correct?
it'd be per judge too, due to that
I
open case
know.
out of Texas and the whole.
You got Texas and Clayton?
No, she has an open assault out of Texas from
Oh,
last
the
year.
open, I'm sorry. And then the warrant out of Clayton. And I know that she's to be released to Clayton. So that's where she's going to go.
I mean, I don't know when. Ty said take a while, so I don't know.
She's only to be released to Clayton. She's not to be released to the street for pretrial. If she does,
No, Your Honor, she would be processed out through pretrial, but then she would be able, then Clayton would come pick her up.
right. But the problem is, are they coming this week, next week, or next month?
Well, that is a big problem. The jail holds them for a long time. It just, whenever they feel like coming, they'll come. So I would ask, Your Honor, I believe that Miss Kira told me that the others are leaving the home. I would ask that whenever she is able to return, just a law enforcement escort to confirm that they're not there, and so that she can go back to her home.
Right. That's what I'll order. She needs to have law enforcement escort if and when she returns, sweep the property, make sure that the victims are not residing there. If they're not, she can go there. If they are, then she needs to find somewhere else to stay. So as a conditional, stay away only if the victims are still residing there and have belongings there. But any other way I can fashion it, ASG Tucker, if you want me to.
That's fine.
Okay. No drugs, alcohol, weapons, guns, unprescribed medication while on bond.
Next, we could go to position number 3.
Hold on, Saint-Saurent. She has a question. If my name is on the lease and I pay for everything and they haven't even been there for a month, why would I have to leave my home because they are there and I already was going through proper stages to get them evicted and they keep calling the police to make things bigger than what it is. I have more to lose than them at the end of the day. Like, I'm working on a $10 salary. I have to pay insurance. Like, I do everything. I was a good person for even letting her come over just for a few days, and that few days turned into a week, and then
Okay.
she just
Okay. This is, I'm not here to hear all of your testimony. You have to save that for trial. But I understand that your name is on there, but they are the victims at the moment, and you have to take other dispossessory matters are into your own hands in order to get them off your property once you're out. But I don't know that you'll be back there that soon anyway, because you've got holding, Clayton. But when and if you get back there, you need to have a police escort to go with you so that you don't end up back in jail. And so if the police sweep that property and determine that these two other ladies are not residing there, you can stay there. If they are, unfortunately, you're going to have to find somewhere else to go until you're off bond, because you're to have no further contact with them.
If they don't get jail there, only thing that's there.
I can't understand what you're saying.
I said the only thing that's there is their clothes. Like,
well, but that makes it look like they live there.
They don't get any mail there or nothing.
I didn't ask about mail. I said clothes and, well, their belongings. If they have belongings there, they may still reside there, and the police are not going to let you stay. So they have to clean all their.
All they stuff while we're there. it still don't matter.
Yeah, I'm not gonna discuss it much more with you, but if they have belongings there, you cannot stay there. They have to have cleaned out all their belongings before you can stay there, even though it's your property. You're the one being charged as the aggressor, they're the victims. And so right now they would have the rights to be there. They say they're paying rent. And if they have items there, you can't stay there. All right. Thank
Ms.
you.
Page, there's
Done.
nothing else. You can reach out to me.
Talk to your attorney.
Hey, what level was this?
Level 2, I believe. Yeah, level 2.
I got it.
All right. Thank you.
Next, we can go to position number 3, Mr. Duke.
25 CR 000-803G, Jalen Duke. Is it Dukes with an S or no S?
No S.
Okay, no S. All right, Duke. Charged with 1 count of willful obstruction, 2nd count of public drunk, and 3rd count failure to obey traffic control devices. Pre-trial.
All right. 2024 probation, 2023 probation, 2023 DUI conviction, 2023 contempt of court, 2021 DUI hit and run conviction, 2021 disorderly conduct conviction, 2021 terrorist threats, felony obstruction conviction, and he's a resident of Florida. That's it.
No, I'm not a resident of Florida.
Mr. Duke,
You're
I
not-
wouldn't advise you to speak right now.
You're not supposed to be talking. All right, go ahead, State.
This incident took place on February 14th, 2025. Officers responded to La Pria Mexican restaurant in Alpharetta. Upon arrival, they met with the employees who advised that the defendant got a table, began banging on the table, yelling, offering to fight people in the restaurant, throwing chairs outside. When the officers arrived, they also spoke with employees of Taco Mac that was next door. He was causing a similar disturbance there, cursing at the bar. When the officers arrived on the scene, Mr. Duke was walking away. They tried to stop him to speak with him. When they went to place him into custody, he ran across a roadway, failing to obey the pedestrian control device, did not stop when the officers asked him to, failed to adhere to their lawful commands. And he was charged based on his history. The state would ask for, and the allegations. On count 1, willful obstruction of an officer, $1,000 good bond. On count 2, public drunk, $1,000 good bond. And on count 3, the failure to obey traffic control device, $500 good bond, for a total of $2,500 good bond. We'd also ask for a stay away of 875 and 865 Main Street. That's the Taco Mac and the La Pria Mexican restaurant. No drugs, alcohol, while on bond. And actually, let me change count 3. I would ask for UGR through pretrial. So this is a split bond with a condition of random alcohol and drug screens. So it's $2,000 split bond.
Okay. Right. PD Geddes.
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Duke is 22 years old. My understanding is that he's currently staying with family based out of a residence in Decatur, Georgia. He is currently working as a sales executive with a company called Kinetic Windstream. My understanding is that he started that position fairly recently and is concerned with making sure he gets out of custody in time to be able to maintain that position. Your Honor, we would just ask that you consider UJR on these offenses. My understanding is that these random alcohol screens are often, there's a requirement that the defendant pay for them. I would just ask that he be given the UJR, A, to make sure he gets out in time to maintain his employment, and B, keeping in mind his financial considerations.
Mm-hmm. I know that he has no violence per se, although the DUIs concern me. So he obviously has a problem with alcohol. still, if that was the issue going on yesterday at the restaurant. I'm going to order on the willful obstruction and the public drunk, the $2,000. I'll do the split bond, 2,000 surety, and then the 500 signature bond and UJR through the jail on the failure to obey traffic control devices. So that'll be 2,000 good and 500 signature. No drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns, unprescribed medication while on bond. Stay away from the restaurants on Main Street, 875 and 865. And I think that'll be it.
Your Honor, repeat that amount.
1,000 on the obstruction and the public drunk and surety. So that's a total of 2,000, 1,000 each. And then 500 on the traffic charge, UJR, or signature through the jail.
Okay, thank you.
And I don't know, I might have said pretrial instead of jail, I think. So I apologize if I did. I meant jail.
Okay, so in other words, it's a total 2,500 split bond.
Correct.
Thank you.
Next, we can go to position number 6, Mr. Hutchins. And position number 7, his bond was posted. He posted bond.
Okay.
Not 7, 5. Hicks.
Oh, 5. Hicks. All right, this is 25 CR 000-805A. Marion Hutchins, charged with 1 count of battery family violence. Pretrial.
8 total. Got to open death by taking possession of a Schedule 1. It's 25 SC. A lot of zeros. 000022. Also open giving false name as well. Clayton County got to open possession of marijuana, driving without a valid license. 2023 and 2024 FTAs. I didn't see any violence.
All right. State.
This incident took place on February 14, 2025 at 4555 Washington Road, apartment 15-5J in South Fulton, Georgia. Officers responded to that location in reference to a fight. They spoke with the victim, Samira Derry, about the incident, and she indicated that her boyfriend, Marion Hutchins, had just gotten out of Clayton County Jail the day before, that they had gotten into a verbal altercation about the situation. And then at some point he grabbed her by her shoulders, threw her onto the ground, causing injuries, visible injuries to her person. The state is asking for a $2,500 surety bond, no further contact with Samira Derry, stay away from 4555 Washington Road, one-time escort with law enforcement to retrieve any belongings. State's concerned about his risk to reoffend. He had just been released from custody the same day on the 14th in Clayton County for something else. So we are concerned about his risk to reoffend, as well as a concern for the victim. And I'm not sure if Ms. Derry is present. I would ask the court to sound for Samira Derry.
Samira Derry.
It's Samara, but yes, I'm here.
I'm sorry.
Do you wish to address the court today? Yes or no?
Yes.
Turn on your camera. I have to see you. All right, raise your right hand for me. Are you in the hospital?
Yes.
All right, are you okay to talk?
Yes.
All right, do you affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the truth and nothing but the truth under the penalty of perjury?
Yes.
All right, put your hand down for me. Are you in fear of, is it Marion Hutchins?
No.
Do you want to have any contact with them?
Not right now, no.
Okay. All right. Any cross-examination questions? Nope.
None from
All
this
right.
state, Your Honor.
Okay. Thank you for getting on in your condition, okay?
Yeah.
Thank you. You can continue to listen to the proceedings and the ruling. All right. PD Atai?
Yes, Your Honor, my client, Mr. Hutchins, is 22 years old. As you heard, he has no violent history at all. He has lived in Georgia since he was 6 years old. He did graduate from City Grove High School. He is gainfully employed at Bolero. He does have family in Georgia. He's fine with no further contact and a stay away. He would need a one-time law enforcement escort to get his things because he was living there with the complaining witness. Your Honor, because he has such little criminal history, I would ask for a signature bond through pretrial services, even if it has to be at level 4. He is recommended for level 2, Your Honor. He's only 22 years old with limited means and would not be able to afford a bond. So I would ask for a signature bond through pretrial as he is recommended at level 2.
All right. I will order that $2,500 signature bond through pretrial for judge, level 2. 2-day anger awareness course through pretrial. Stay away from 4555 Washington Road. And no further contact with the victim, Samaya Derry. I'm sorry, Derry. It's Derry, I believe. Yeah, no further contact with her. Stay away. No drugs, alcohol, weapons, guns while on bond. And I think that's it.
I believe, just to make sure, I certainly don't want him going back to even retrieve items without law enforcement escort to ensure that the victim is safe. So if there is any retrieval of items, I would ask that it only be with a law enforcement escort.
Yes, I'm sorry, I forgot about that. He can only return with a law enforcement escort to get any of his personal belongings from the property. And that should be it, I think.
Next, we can go to position number 1 on the add-on, Mr. Dawson.
What was the last name?
Dawson. Position 1 on the add-on.
Oh, I see, Dawson. All right. 25 CR 000-809J Delray Dawson. Charged at 1 count of simple, 2nd count of criminal trespass. Pretrial.
I got 7 total. Got an open case in Cobb County from 2024. It's 2 counts of ag assault, 1 count criminal damage to property, 1st degree, 2020 probation, 2016 simple battery.
This is my case. Give me one moment.
Okay.
This incident took place on February 13, 2025. Officers responded to 1504 Sunrise Court in Union City, Fulton County, Georgia, in reference to a dispute They made contact with Deanna Kane, and they were informed that there had been a dispute between Ms. Kane and Mr. Dawson. During the course of the dispute, or there was an allegation that Mr. Dawson kicked in the door, causing damage to the frame of Ms. Kane's home, that he also broke her phone, and that they were in a physical altercation or tussling where they ended up falling to the ground. Initially, he was charged with cruelty to children in the third. I want to make sure that the NOD was received for that. As it relates to the simple battery, the state would ask for a $1,000 good bond and a stay away and no further contact with Deanna Kane. As it relates to the criminal trespass, the state would also ask for a $1,000 good bond, same condition, stay away and no further contact with Ms. Kane. So it's a total of a $2,000 good bond.
PD Geddes?
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Dawson is 30 years old. He spent his entire life in Georgia. My understanding is that he's a driver and works for Amazon. He's been working there for the better part of 6 to 8 months at this point. He is a high school graduate. He has an extensive family network here. I have already discussed with him the possibility that there would be a stay away or no further contact provisions as part of the bond arrangement. He has assured me that he can abide by those conditions and does have an alternate address that he would be able to stay. So we would just ask that Your Honor consider giving him a UJR on these charges.
And I'll just remind the court, I believe he has an aggravated assault from 2024 and a criminal damage to property, so a recent violent charge.
He is entitled to the presumption of innocence on those. I would just remind the court.
And the court can certainly use any prior recent violent charges as a consideration and for bond, especially when being asked for a signature bond.
I will order the a $4,000 signature bond through the these can go through the jail. $2,000 on each. I will order him to stay away from 1520 Sunrise Court. Not for sure who resides there. Oh, Miss Kane, is it? Is that the victim that resides at that location?
It is.
Okay. And so no further contact with Miss Kane. Stay away from that location. No drugs, alcohol, weapons, guns, or unprescribed medication while on bond. And I believe that'll be it.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Hold on. Next, we can go to Mr. Spears. That is position number 15.
16, Strozier.
15.
15, Spear.
We're addressing Mr. Spear, just to clarify.
Yes, Spear,
Thank you.
15. 25 CR 0008008 Brandon Spear, charged with 1 count of criminal trespass, pretrial.
43. On probation, out of state court for simple battery. DV, open shoplifting and trespass out of Superior Court. It's 24 PI 009 095. 2025 probation. 2025 shoplifting trespass conviction. 2024 probation. FTA. 2023 reckless conduct conviction. 2022 obstruction, possession of drug-related objects conviction. 2019 giving false name conviction. You want me to keep going?
No, that's fine. State.
Now, this incident took place on February 14th, 2025. The defendant did remain at 761 Sidney Marcus after having been criminally trespassed. It appears that he had a prior December 12th, 2024 criminal trespass and theft by shoplifting. The officer asked Mr. Spear to leave, which he reluctantly complied. While the officer was sitting in his vehicle, the defendant returned to the property before the officer could even leave. Based on his history, 44 cycles, many of the same type of offense, state would ask for a $1,500 surety bond, stay away from 761 Sidney Marcus Boulevard.
All right, PD Gaddis.
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Spear is 42 years old and a lifelong resident of Georgia. My understanding is that he is unfortunately facing some housing challenges. He's expressed to me that he does get some work as a subcontractor. He does have a high school diploma. Your Honor, I would just ask that, considering the fact that he does not have consistent work and has housing challenges, the court consider granting him a UJR. If he is not eligible for the UJR, we would ask that you give him the lowest possible bond and also ask that a social worker visit him while he is in custody.
Okay. And what was that, the location of the 761 Sidney Marcus?
Quick Trip.
Quick Trip? I will give him a $1,500 signature bond through the jail. Stay away from 761 Sidney Marcus, the Quick Trip. No drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns. Unprescribed medication while on bond.
And this is 1,500?
Yes.
Okay. Next, Your Honor, we have position number 8, Mr. Johnson.
Okay. $25 CR 00079 Ashoni Johnson, charged with 1 count of battery, family violence, and 2 counts of cruelty to children in the 3rd degree. Retrial.
Fifth arrest, 2023 FTA, couple of suspended license, and a simple burglary. Illegal possession of stolen things. It's out of state.
Yes, Judge. We'd be asking for $2,000 good bond on the battery family violence, 500 on each of the cruelties, for a total of $3,000 good bond, with conditions no further contact with Jasmine Almond, as well as to stay away from 3106 Desert Drive, apartment 4 in East Point. The facts allege that an argument over a past incident involving a pawn title led to the defendant slapping this victim across the face with the back of his hand, leaving noticeable redness, and this happened in front of their 2 minor children. She also received a scratch to the arm. We did speak with the victim, and I believe she's on the Zoom today. She was minimizing the incident, and she doesn't want to press charges, but based on the visible injuries as well as his history, he does have history out of Louisiana and a FTA as recently as 2023. We are asking for that $3,000 total good bond with condition no further contact and stay away. If you could sound for Miss Arnold, or excuse me, Miss Almond.
Jasmine Almond,
Yes, ma'am.
you wish to address the court today, yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yep, turn on there you go. Okay, your camera. Raise your right hand for me. Do you affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the truth and nothing but the truth under the penalty of perjury?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Are you in fear of Mr. Thomey
No,
Johnson?
ma'am.
You won't have any further contact with him?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. PD Atai.
Yes, Your Honor, Mr. Johnson is 28 years old. He has lived in Georgia for the past 7 years. He has his mother and his father and siblings, close family ties in Georgia. He does work as a subcontractor, doing construction and drywall. He does deny the allegations as stated in the warrant. And he would like contact with the complaining witness, as she has also stated that she wants contact. I spoke with her and she stated that he did never hit her. She had no marks, and that the police officer was saying, well, if you called, then there has to be something, and was searching for something and said there was a scratch on her arm. The redness to her face, she states, is because they were crying, or she was crying, Your Honor. And he does firmly deny the allegations as stated in the warrant. He doesn't have any violent history. I would ask for a signature bond through pretrial services. He is recommended at level 2, Your Honor. Nothing further.
Mhm. I will order the 2,000 on the battery family violence and 1,000 on each of the cruelties for a total of $4,000 signature bond through pretrial level 2 for judge. No further contact with Jasmine. I didn't write down the last name.
Almond.
Thank you. And her 2 children, I assume 2 minor children. I don't know if we have their initials.
CA and CA.
Okay. No further contact with them. Stay away from the incident location. And no drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns, or unprescribed medication while on bond. Anything else?
Your Honor, the complaining witness has her hand raised.
Oh, I didn't see it. Let's see. Oh, I see. Jasmine Almond, you would like to speak?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, raise your right hand for me. Do you affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the truth and nothing but the truth under the penalty of perjury?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Put your hand down. First question is, are you afraid of Mr. Johnson?
No, ma'am, I'm not.
Okay, and you want to have any further contact with him?
Yes, ma'am. He's the father of my 2 children.
Okay. I don't have any more questions. Anything else of her?
Nothing from the state.
Yeah. Give you a time.
No, Your Honor.
All right. And then I'll stick by that. That's that 2,000, I'm sorry, 4,000 total. 2,000 on the battery, 1,000 on each of the cruelties through pretrial level 2. No further contact with the victim. Stay away from the incident location. Anything else?
Your Honor, I believe that the Miss Almond wants contact. I believe that's why her hand is raised.
Ms. Almond?
Yes, ma'am. I would love to have contact with him. I have two sons, and that's the provider for my family. I don't work right. And my
This
mom,
just
she has
happened,
no problem with him being here. She actually said that she is paying for his bond as well.
but the incident occurred with you, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. But it must be your mom's residence. Is that why you're saying that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Well, but you all have to be able to live in peace. Can you do that?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, it hasn't been 24 hours yet, so for me to see that.
I understand completely. I would just love to get a chance to show that this will not happen again.
All right, I'll order no further violent contact to see how it goes.
Thank you so much, Judge.
Mm-hmm. And there won't be a stay away then?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Anything else, counsel?
Nothing further. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right.
Thing from the state.
Mm-hmm.
Next, we can go to position number 2, Mr. Ford on the add-on calendar.
This is 25 CR 0000807B. It's in Boy. Malachi Ford, charged with 2 counts of criminal trespass. Pre-trial.
Third arrest. We got an open battery DV out of Clayton County. 2 counts of ag assault, 1 count trespass, possession of a Schedule 2. 2024, that reckless conduct was dismissed. So he just got the open violent charges.
Okay.
One moment. Yeah, this incident took place on January 11th, 2025. Officers responded to 3294 Stonewall Lane in reference to a burglary. Upon arrival, they made contact with Wilson and Menson. I'm sorry, Kiera Harrington, who was the victim. She stated that she was upstairs in her bedroom, and the defendant, Mr. Ford, used forced entry by kicking the front door in. There is some confusion, and I do need to do a deeper dive. We also have a warrant for January 25th, 2025, and it was the same allegation of kicking the door in at that same location with the same victim. Our office did speak with the victim. She's indicated it only happened one time. Right now, there are 2 separate counts for criminal trespass. We just need to take a deeper dive to be able to make that determination. On this, the state would be asking for $1,500 on each count. Stay away from the location and no further contact with Ms. Harrington.
Okay. The victim on the line.
She is, yes.
All right. And what was her name again?
Kiera Harrington.
Kiera Harrington. Do you wish to address the court today?
Yes, please.
All right. Raise your right hand for me. Do you affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the truth and nothing but the truth under the penalty of perjury?
Yes.
All right. Are you in fear of Mr. Ford?
No.
Do you want to have any contact with Mr. Ford?
Yes.
You all have children together?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Still residing together?
Correct. Yes, ma'am.
Since January the 12th?
No, this has been almost a year now. March of this year will be a year.
I have the offense date as January the 12th, 2025. Is
Right.
that not correct?
Yeah, that's the offense date, but he's been living here longer than that.
Okay. And since the incident, you've had no more violence encounters?
No, ma'am. Mm-mm. And the report, I don't know why the report says that. I told the advocate, young lady, when she called me earlier, he was actually already in the house and he was leaving out of the house. He closed the door behind him and he kicked the door. It was previously damaged, and at that point, it just came off the hinges. I called the police because the door was open and I was wanting them to kind of patrol because at this point, my house was open to any and everyone. I guess they kind of misunderstood and they just told me at that point they couldn't sit an officer out there. They could only just do a random ride by, send a police officer to randomly ride by to make sure I was okay.
Mhm. And I don't recall, do y'all have children together?
No, ma'am, we don't.
Okay. All right, thank you for that. You can mute yourself. And Pediatai?
Yes, Your Honor, my client, Mr. Ford, is 21 years old. He has lived in Georgia all his life. Um, he does have open cases, Your Honor, but no convictions. He does tell me that he does suffer from epilepsy and seizures. I spoke with the complaining witness and she stated that she did not call the police because of any altercation with Mr. Ford. It was because the door, which was already damaged, wasn't able to be closed. He wasn't entering the property, he was leaving. I would ask, Your Honor, for a signature bond through pretrial services at level 3, which is the recommendation. And I think a signature bond is only fair in this case. The complaining witness tells me that absolutely nothing happened on January 5th, and that's the date that is in the system on one criminal trespass. But the citation there shows the same citation for the other criminal trespass, which was January 12th. So I do think in this case it is a duplicate. So I would ask, as the state has stated they need to take a deeper dive, I would ask for a signature bond through pretrial services or the jail on these criminal trespass charges, nothing further.
Okay. I will order the 1,500 on each of the charges for a total of $3,000 signature bond. And that will be through pretrial services, level 2. I'm sorry, level 3. Level 3. No drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond. And I guess that's it. Anything else, counsel?
Nothing further from defense.
Next, we go to position number 12, Mr. Matomedy. Sorry, tripping.
Twenty 25 CR 0000804D Arian Matomedy. Charge of 1 count of simple assault, 2nd count of criminal trespass and damage to property. Pretrial.
7 on probation in Henry County. Battery, false report of a crime. Forsyth County for suspended license. DUI, possession of marijuana. 2024 probation. 2022 disorderly conduct conviction, FTA. 2021 he had a simple battery DV. It was amended to disorderly conduct conviction.
All right, state.
This incident took place on February 14, 2025 at 5650 Commons Lane, Johns Creek, Georgia. Officers responded to that location in reference to a domestic dispute. The allegation is that the defendant got into a dispute with his father. At some point, he picked up a object and held it over his father's head as if he was going to attack him with it. He also punched the wall, causing damage to the apartment, which is the basis of those charges. Based on his history, the state is asking for, on the simple battery, $1,500 good bond, no alcohol, no drugs, weapons. There's a concern of MH issues. So I don't know if evaluation would be appropriate at this time, but some type of evaluation. On count 2, criminal trespass, the state would be asking for a $1,000 good bond for a total of $2,500 good bond, same conditions. Wait, let me make sure. I think the father said he wanted no further violent contact. So or he wanted contact with his son. So no stay away and no further violent contact.
Okay. And then on the second count, you were requesting
$1,000 good bond, surety bond, for a total of $2,500 surety bond.
Okay. All right. Is the father on?
I believe it might be the Mohammed Reza Motamedi. That is the victim's name. So he is present. I'm not sure if he wants to speak.
You want to speak to the court, sir? Mohammed. Oh, Mohammed. Nope. All right, we'll keep moving. Mr. Geddes.
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. This defendant is 21 years old. My understanding is that he has resided in Georgia for his entire life. My understanding is that he is currently working and he intends to start college in August of this year. If the state has already had contact with the complaining witness and he has expressed that he is fine with the defendant residing with him, we would just ask that it be no further violent contact and there be no stay away as part of the conditions. Otherwise, we would just ask that the court consider a UJR.
I think with the and he's 21, so I guess did you say he was or was not working?
He is currently working, Your Honor, and he intends to start school later this year, or college later this year.
All right, I will order the 1,500 on the first charge and 1,000 on the second for 2,500 signature bond. And I guess that can be through the jail. No drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond. No further violent contact with the father.
Is there any way to do that on pretrial? He has a battery family violence. He has diagnosis for MH issues.
I could do pretrial.
It'd be per judge, so it's up to you.
I mean, we're asking for surety bond, but at a minimum, some type of oversight is what the state is asking for.
All right, I can do it the pretrial services level 1. Same amounts, just do pretrial level 1. And if he's on any medication or under treatment, that he comply and continue with any treatment or medication that he may need to be on. Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Next, we can go to position number 4, Mr. Frederick.
This is 25 CR 0000792B, Jelani Frederick, charged at 1 count of simple battery, family violence.
I got first.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, Judge, the state is asking for a $2,000 signature bond with no further contact with Zara Cone and to stay away from 608 Highwood Lane, East Point. The facts allege that this defendant wanted to borrow the phone charger that the victim was using. This victim is his sister and they live together. She was using the charger, so she told him he'd have to wait. He got upset with that, began striking her in the forearm, leg, and arm. The attack was captured on her phone camera. We were unable to get in contact with this victim. And based on that and the lack of history, we're only asking for that $2,000 signature bond, but with no further contact and to stay away.
The victim is right here.
Hold on. We have to see you. Who are you?
This is Jelani Frederick brother, but my sister, she's right here. The victim, she's right here.
How old is she?
I'm 17.
And how old are you, Mr. Frederick?
I'm 23.
Okay. Need you to be there with her since she's a minor.
Mhm.
All right, you are all siblings.
Yes. So this was a big,
Where
big.
are your parents? Hold on. I haven't asked you to talk yet. Where are your parents?
My mother, she's at work. She was supposed to be on the call, but she's at work.
Okay. All right. Since you're 23, I allow you to do that. Raise your right hand. You firm and your sister?
Yes.
I can't see her.
I am on the call. This is mom.
Your mom is here. What's your name, Mom?
It's Aisha Williams.
Aisha Williams. All right. And the victims in the case state are Jelani Frederick. I'm sorry, or no, the sister. Javion Frederick.
Yeah, this is the brother.
Who are the victims state?
Zara Cone, the sister.
This is it.
And what is her first name?
Zara.
Jara.
Zara, Z-A-R-A.
Oh, Zara. Okay. All right. So Zara Frederick, and that's the only victim?
Yes.
All right. Zara, so you raise your right hand for me, please. Mom, we have authority. We can talk with her, with you on?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right.
Yes,
Do you
ma'am,
affirm that
that's
the
fine.
testimony you're about to give is the truth and nothing but the truth under the penalty of perjury?
Yes.
I can't hear you. You have to
Yes.
speak. You can't nod your head. I'm sorry?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Put your hand down. Are you in fear of Jelani Frederick?
No.
Do you want to have any further contact with him?
Yes.
Okay. You were still in high school?
Yes.
Okay. Are you a junior or senior?
A senior.
And you all reside there together, is that correct?
Yes, it is.
Okay. All right. Any cross-examination questions?
No.
No, that was for the state to answer.
Nothing from the state.
PDs?
Nothing from defense, Your Honor.
All right. And so you're not in fear of your brother?
No, I'm not.
Okay. Has anything happened like this before?
Yes, we always argue and fight, but we
That's it. Yes.
Don't tell her what to say, please.
Okay.
Let her speak on her own. So you always fight and argue like that, but this time it got out of hand?
no.
Yeah, that's it. Yes, this got her name just for this time, and it was just a big misunderstanding.
Well, I'm concerned about her safety and for her speaking for herself as opposed to her brother. Where's mom again?
She right there.
Yes, ma'am. You can go ahead. Sorry about that.
No, mom, I'm asking a question.
Yes, ma'am. Everything's fine. You know, they had a little differences
You
or
can only
whatnot.
speak to me with your camera on.
Okay. I don't know why it's doing that. Hold on. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I can see.
You can see me now. Yes, ma'am. Everything's fine. You know, they have their little arguments, but this is the first time it's ever gotten out of hand like this.
Well, how do I know it's not going to escalate and be worse next time?
No, it's not. We're gonna make sure of that. And Jelani's currently gonna be moving into my place soon, so everything's gonna be fine.
Yeah, I want to make sure that there's not going to be any more incidences in the home. So you're working, mom. You're out of the home a lot?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, I am some of the time.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's hear from Mr. Frederick, Jelani Frederick's attorney.
Your Honor,
Hi.
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. My client, Mr. Frederick, is 24 years old. As you heard from pretrial, this is his first arrest. He is recommended for a UJR. Of course, we don't object to the signature bond, although he is living at the home, so I would ask for no violent contact. He does deny the allegations as stated in the warrant and would not have a place to live if he couldn't go back home, Your Honor. And I did speak with the mother, and she stated that he is welcome back in the home, and nothing like this has happened before, other than normal sibling arguments back and forth.
Well, I understand it's first arrest, but I don't want it to get out of hand. She has two older brothers. I don't know. Are there any other siblings in the home? Somebody?
Yes.
How many others?
Three other.
How old are they?
One is 20, 22. The other one is 17, twin sisters. And my other sister, she 12. Yeah, 12.
Well, okay. Well, this just happened. And so I want to make sure that there's been the ample cooling down period. And maybe it is time for Jelani to go find somewhere else to live.
Yeah, we in the process of finding an apartment, so that's why I've been applying for apartments. So we supposed to get a place together. That's why we in the process right now.
Oh, okay. All right, because sometimes maybe you can't all live together, but if you do, I'm gonna hope that you can do it peacefully. So I'm going to give him a $2,000 signature bond, and I will give it to him through pretrial at level 1. Going to order him to take the 2-day anger awareness course through pretrial. And I'm going to order no further violent contact with the victim, Zara Frederick. No drugs, alcohol, weapons, guns, or unprescribed medication while on bond. And I believe that is it. Anything else, counsel?
Nothing further. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Good luck to you all. Thank you.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Judge.
Next, we're gonna go to position number 16, Mr. Strozier.
This 25 CR 0000801A, David Strozier, charged with 1 count of criminal trespass and damage to property. Pretrial.
Third arrest. He had a shoplifting conviction and another 2024 shoplifting arrest. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah, and this incident took place on February 14, 2025. Demetrius Barron, the victim, observed the defendant inside his home via a video surveillance camera. The victim has another home in Nashville, but he does come back to this home often. It is alleged that the defendant broke into a back window and could be seen on camera lying on the couch. So they did not charge it as a burglary. It was charged as criminal trespass. Based on his minimal criminal history, the state is asking for $1,000 UJR through pretrial. No further contact with Demetrius Barron and stay away from 1152 Sales Avenue.
That was a stay away from the incident location on Sales Avenue.
That's correct.
And then a no further violent contact with the owner.
I'm asking for no contact. The owner does not know the defendant. So just no contact if he does know him, and also stay away from his property.
Okay. All right. Okay. Is the owner on at all? Looks like we may have. No, I think everybody else. Except for maybe two below. Who's Samsung and Myrick? What cases are they here for? Don't know. All right, go ahead, PD Gaddis.
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Strozier is 21 years old. He's lived in Georgia his whole life. My understanding is that he has family living out of Buckhead. He is not currently working. My understanding is that he's been some trouble maintaining employment. Your Honor, we do think, considering his limited criminal history as well as his limited financial circumstances, a UJR would be appropriate in these circumstances. Mr. Strozier has informed me he does not know the complaining witness, so a stay away and no further contact should not be an issue.
Okay. I will order the $3,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. Stay away from the incident location. No further contact with the owner, that location. Stay away from that location. No drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond. I think that'll be it. Anything else?
Nothing from defense.
Nope. Thank you.
Your Honor, position number 7 is a behavioral reset.
Okay.
Okay.
We reset till Monday.
Hey, that's it, right?
That it?
I'm waiting for somebody to say something.
Yeah.
Oh,
How
I
you
thought
wait?
she was looking for somebody, but no. All right, we're done.
Okay,
Take
so
it away, Miss Holly.
okay, let's get it. Okay, once again, the reset date for the SAP calendar is going to be February the 27th. Position number 1 is reset further notice with a total $2,500 SOB through pretrial. Position 2 is reset further notice with a, God dog it. Let me come right back to that unless
I
somebody.
got 2,000.
I got it, 2,000.
I had 2,000 as well.
I
Okay,
think we all
great.
have 2,000.
SOB through pretrial level 2.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Position 3 is going to the SAP calendar with a $2,500 split bond. Position 4 is reset further notice with a $2,000 SOB through pretrial. Position 5 is reset further notice as the defendant has been released. Position 6 is reset further notice with the $2,500 SOB through pretrial per judge. Position 7 is a behavior reset till Monday, which is the 17th. 8 is reset further notice with a total $4,000 SOB through pretrial per judge. Position 9 is going to the SAP calendar with a total $1,500 good bond. 10 reset to the SAP calendar with a total $5,000 good bond. 11 SAP calendar with a total $4,500 good bond. 12 is reset further notice with a total $2,500 SOB through pretrial. Okay.
That was 12?
Yes, 12.
Yeah, that was per judge too.
Is it? Okay,
Yep.
per judge. Okay, 13 is going to the SAP calendar with a total $1,000 good bond. 14 is a $4,000 total SOB through pretrial per judge. 15 is reset further notice with a $1,500 SOB through the jail. 16 is reset further notice with a $3,000 SOB through pretrial. 17 is reset further notice with a $2,000 SOB through pretrial. Now to the add-on calendar. Position number 1 is reset further notice with a total $4,000 SOB through the jail. Position 2, reset further notice with a total $3,000 SOB through the jail. And position
Pretrial or jail?
pretrial level 3. For position,
Right, for 2.
yeah, I have Malachi Ford,
Yeah,
reset further notice with a total $3,000 SOB through pretrial level 3.
that's what I had.
Okay. And then position 3 is reset further notice with a $1,000 SOB through the jail. Are there any questions, comments, or otherwise?
Nope, I think you got it.
Okay.
All right. See you next time, everyone. Have a good weekend.
All
Thank
right.
you, Judge.
Take care,
Bye.
everyone.
All right, take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.